this story or this episode basically as what the fuck? As hinted at, revolves around Jules and her life.
Say that again, my bad. I was talking over.
Oh no, you DJ Cool, there's a storm.
What time did it was hard? Can't remember. I'm like, what? Fabulous.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Cinecism. I'm Eric.
It's your boy Dante, man, and today we're going to be doing a review on Euphoria Part 2, Jules.
This episode of Euphoria, another special episode, focuses on Jules post Rue and their little situation. Talks about what transpired after they were supposed to, run away together. And, of course, Rue backed out of that plan. This story focuses on how she's been dealing with her relationships, not only with Rue, but with her father. We find out more about her mother and what she had to deal with as far as being a substance abuser. So it really gives us a better glimpse of who Jules is as a person and why she does certain things or why her relationships are the way that they are, especially pertaining to Rue.
I didn't realize until watching this episode that really in the season of Euphoria, we've got to know Jules more on a relationship standpoint. I don't believe that the show at least gave us a lot of information about her family history. The whole thing with her mom being a substance abuser felt like new information to me. I don't think they ever really mentioned her mom's substance abuse. She just kind of wasn't around.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because I thought I was tripping because I know we hadn't seen this show in a long time. Yeah. So I thought maybe they had mentioned it before and I might have forgotten about it or missed it.
Boy, did that shed a lot, like you said, it just shedded a lot of information as to why she was doing the things that she was doing. Especially with regards to Rue when she explained more about that relationship. But we can talk more about that. This episode, like we mentioned, focused on Jules. Hunter Schafer, who plays Jules, who is Rue's love interest. She's a transgender character on the show. She's going through a therapy session. It's very similar to the episode that we saw with Rue. The whole spark of it is that I think she's there because she had ran away to go to New York. Her dad ended up going out there to get her. And it seemed like she had some type of a breakdown, which would make a lot of sense. You know what I found really interesting when I watched this episode was that I didn't know how much she was still really affected by that whole catfishing situation. That whole thing that happened with Nate apparently really impacted her because that guy that he was pretending to be, she's still very much in love with the idea of that person.
I'm glad you worded it as like the idea of that person. Yeah, because that's all. Ain't real. That's all she knew. Was
he's
this an illusion of a person. Yeah. Also, you know what I realized how she carries probably a lot of guilt, even though it wasn't explicitly stated about her mother's passing and not, trying to, or at least attempting to build a better relationship with her. She sees a lot of her mom in Rue. And I think that's why she, I guess, has such a soft spot for Rue.
There's a parallel between Rue and her mom. And I guess in a lot of ways, it's kind of maybe her second opportunity to have a relationship with her mom. And she even went as far to make a comment is that she felt like Rue looks at her the way that a mother should. I didn't think it was anything inappropriate when she said that. I thought she was just more so saying that kind of unconditional love, the way that a good mother would look at you and kind of see all this potential or the things that you could be. She recognizes that Rue really sees her as a person, like who she is at her core. She also carries the burden in a lot of ways of her drug abuse, and she recognizes that she's the catalyst or could potentially be the catalyst for her relapsing. Like any kid, that's a lot for anybody to bear.
I was about to say that too. Like nobody should have to endure that, but especially a person in their high school, like teenage years who don't even have the mental maturity or capacity to deal with a lot of their own personal issues, like to have to take on somebody else's personal mental issues as well. It's a lot for anybody to have to bear, but especially a teenager. Yeah. That's a lot.
When she said that is 100% accurate. I mean, that's exactly what happened in the end, right? Her leaving Rue at that train station ended up causing Rue to have a really bad relapse. It's hard when you want to be in a relationship with somebody, but at the same time, you're kind of walking on eggshells because you just don't know what your choices of what you say to them could trigger.
That's shitty, man. Yeah. Because you shouldn't feel responsible for anybody's substance abuse. That's a tough situation to be in.
I agree. They brought up an interesting point of the possibility of her detransitioning, and I don't know if that was just based off of the show. This is a therapy session, so you probably just saying any random thought that come to your head. Yeah. You know, you probably just working it out in that session. But I didn't know how serious they were about that. That would be an interesting avenue for them to take.
Yeah, that would be wild.
Yeah, very much, especially with regards to Nate.
The actress actress is actually like trans in real life too.
Yeah,
so to even see that reflected in the show would be wild if they would have taken that route. You want to talk about her dad at all?
Yeah.
Her dad, man, is given his circumstances, I feel like he tries his best given like the circumstances, and he doesn't always know what to say, what to do. Like, who really would in that situation? But I feel like he does a really good job at letting her know that he's there for her, man. He has been a standout in the show. Even though I haven't mentioned him previously, I felt like this episode really brought his character to the forefront more so, as far as, you know, how supportive he is of his daughter.
He's a really good dad. I agree with you from the first season. Even in that, I was like, man, this dude is just really great. Not even in the fact that he was supportive of her transition, but just the fact of how he talks to her. He really recognizes that she's a young adult, and I don't think he tries to condescend to her in any way. And he values her opinion. I think he lets Jules be Jules. He also parents when he needs to. The mom had came to visit them, and because of their history, Jules didn't want to go downstairs to talk to her mom because she felt like her mom let her down her whole life, which is understandable. But he came upstairs, he was like, look, I know you're upset. I get it, but you need to go down there and talk to her. It's important. And if you don't, you might regret it. And I just thought that was a really good comment because he ain't never be like, yo, you don't have no right to, that's your mom and you should, he's like, I know she don't put you through a lot. I get it. You upset. You cussing me out, which I ain't a fan of, but okay, we here. And I think he even presented it to her in a way, was like, yeah, do you think that would probably be the better thing to do? And she's like, all right, fine. You know, not kids do.
I mean, if he can forgive her, like, I feel like he had it worse off than anybody when you really think about it. Not only is he losing his wife to abuse, but also he's having to take on the responsibility of both parents because of the mother's addiction.
You know, this show just highlighted the fact that just black people just do therapy different. Jules in the office with this really nice lady. The lady just said, how you feel, Jules? You know, just very talking to her in a very tender manner. On the side of that, you got Rue at a fucking Waffle House at 2 a.m. with old boy, and he just like, bet you need to get off drugs. You know what I'm saying? On Minnesota facts. That's how black people do therapy, man. At the Waffle House at 2 a.m. talking out your issues with some homie, with the homie. You know what else I'll bring up? You know, man, I didn't appreciate the way that this episode ended. You know, this whole thing with Rue and Jules has really just proven that it's toxic for both of them and they both just need to leave each other alone. Jules has been reaching out to Rue since this whole incident that happened when she left her at the train station. Rue has been not responding, which I personally think is the best thing because she needs to be focusing on her sobriety. Rue just popped up at her house. Apparently it's Christmas, and she was just like, hey, Jules, I just wanted to say, you know, Merry Christmas, and you know, and then she just fucking laughed. And then Jules tried to talk to her, and she was trying to get some type of closure, information on how she felt. She apologized. She just fucking left. And I'm like, bro, if you gonna pop up like that, then goddamn, let's talk about something, let's solve something, but it was a very teenage thing to do. What the fuck was that? I'm trying to get over the fact that you done dissed me, you done ghosted me, and I might have been almost over that. And then you pop up at my house on some, yeah, Merry Christmas, and I hope you're fine, and a hoodie and shit. And it's just like, bitch, get out of my home. Leave. I really hope this was before, because after that conversation that she had with Ali, I really felt like she left on a note that her sobriety was the most important thing at this point, and she was going to stop fucking with Jules.
So overall, I thought this episode of Euphoria was pretty good. I'm trying to decide which one I enjoyed more, Rue or Jules' episode.
I was going to ask you that.
Kind of hard to say. I like both episodes for different reasons, obviously. You know, I mean, I thought it was just interesting to see each perspective. I think I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
I enjoy getting to know a lot more about Jules' background. I always like to know what a character's motivations is and what makes them do the things they do. It's just people in general. You know, everybody got a story to tell. I'm curious as to where their relationship's going to go from here. I don't really know.
Hopefully nowhere.
I'm hoping that too. I'm going to give it an 8 as well out of 10. I thought it was a really good episode. If you're a fan of these characters, if you're a fan of Euphoria, you'll definitely enjoy this episode for sure.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to our review of the Euphoria special episode, Jules. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any suggested reviews, whether it be for a movie, a series, or any trailers for upcoming movies, don't forget to drop a comment below, please.
Absolutely. And if you guys have seen Part 2 special episode Jules of Euphoria, please let us know what you thought. Which one did y'all prefer better? Did you like Rue's episode or did you like Jules' episode better? How do you feel about them ultimately coming back together as a couple? We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. Or did you like the episodes at all?
Yeah, that's an option.
Do you even like this show?
Peace, man. We appreciate y'all.
Peace.